everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. I hope everybody's having a good evening here. Let me get my computer going and we'll get going on this fun design. This is design number 2 of the March Easy.Art subscription box. Okay, let me get this pulled up here and I'll get a link for you guys. I hope everybody's having a good night tonight. All right. All right, got it. Okay. Okay. Hello. Oops, so sorry, I bumped my table there. Hello, good to see everybody tonight. Hi, this is Heidi here. So I'm here tonight to share with you. This is design number 2 of the March Easy.Art subscription box. So I've got this wonderful design pre-done here for you, and that's something similar to what I'm going to do here tonight for you guys. So I am going to do just a little bit different color palette. So it's quite a springy color palette, but I've got some different colors I want to use tonight. So we'll get that going. It's going to be very similar to this. So this is what the template looks like before I paint it black to prep it to be ready to go. It actually has laser etched lines in here that are wonderful, what's called design lines, to help you create your design as you go through. So that has that pre-made onto the template here, and it is a laser cut piece, and all etched in there ready to go. And I do have mine painted black so that you can be ready to go with whatever color you want to put on the background. So it doesn't really matter what color of black you use. I use a Deco Art Mars Black is mine. Now that is a Deco Art student brand, so you probably won't find it in Hobby Lobby, but that is the one I use. Tonight I'm actually going to use Americana Multi-Surface Satin, and I'm going to use some springy type colors for us here tonight. So I am going to use Pink Tropics, Purple Sunset, Cotton Ball, and then a couple different greens. I think I have Apple Green and Turf Green are my 2 greens. So those are my favorite go-tos for my greens, especially for the springy type color palette. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is such a fun little design. It's really easy to do. So we're going to get started right with the center. The great thing about this is it has the center all ready to go for you. You don't have to worry about finding the center of your piece. It is already on there and all lined up for you. So I'm using my Pittsburgh punch set tonight, and I'm also using my DIY swoosh tools. We will be doing a lot of swooshing in this design. So I'm just going to start with the white. This is Cotton Ball White. And I am just lining this up in the center, and that is going to be the foundation of our entire piece. So that's what's so nice about these pieces. The center is all lined up and ready to go for you, so you don't have to worry about getting that foundation correct. You will have it good to go right from the beginning. So I'm using a ball dotter here. It has a large end and a small end. I'm going to use the small end here because the center outlining circles are they're very tiny. So there's a lot of tiny pieces on this design. So we're going to start here with our pink, and we're going to do the we're going to do north, south, east, and west to get started here. And with this design, it is an 8-spoked flower, or it has 8 petals there. So I'm just doing north, south, east, and west, and then I'm going to just put an even amount here in the center. So basically, it's just like your numbers on the clock is what I'm doing. So you can act like it's 12, 6, 3, and 9 if you want, and then fill in the rest of your numbers. It just helps to start with those first 4 so that you can really have everything lined up really well there. Okay, so we've got our first row ready to go here, and then I'm going to go ahead and go with the purple on the next one. So this is our DecoArt Multi-Surface Satin Purple Sunset, and on these I am still using the small ball dotter, and I am just lining them up right above that last row. So I call it nesting these in. So I'm nesting those dots in right in the center of the previous row of dots, and that will pretty much just keep us fairly even there on that row, and it'll enable us to have that really nice even dotted pattern here, because we're really just lining up and nesting them right into that previous set. Now on the next portion of our pattern, it's a really good like a petal or a leaf type portion of the pattern. So on that I'm going to start my greens in here. So I have the apple green and the turf green, and I do want to make the turf green my starting point. I don't need a really large ball dotter here, so it's just going to be, I've got 3 sizes laid out here. So this is the one I'm going to use for that. Now my DIY ball dotting tools or swoosh tools, it's a pencil and then just a round earring. So these are wonderful for making swooshes, and I'll show you here. It's just a fantastic way, and actually I think that one's a little big. Let's go down a size here. Yeah, we're going down a size. I think that one was too big. So these DIY swoosh tools are phenomenal because they do a great job. They are pretty consistent with the swoosh that it makes, and they're really easy to use and very economical. So I love using these. The other thing you can use if you don't have ball earrings that are available, the little map pins are great. Just anything with a small pin that you can stick into your eraser there will work out. Now I'm going to use my larger end of my ball tool here. This little tool, I just picked this up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fill in just with the lighter green, which is the sour apple color. So I'm just going to fill in around that previous swoosh that I laid down there. And the nice thing about this design, it really has just a little design that you can follow to make that swoosh kind of curve there a little bit. Has more of a little petal type design to it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Say hi when you come on, that way I know that you're here. Okay, there we go. That has our outline of our flower ready to go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, we've got a larger petal area here. This is this portion where we're getting ready to work. So I am going to do a little bit larger of my ball tool here. And I'm going to go back to my really pretty pink, and I am just going to pull a pink swoosh up through here. So that's what's so great about these DIY swoosh tools. They are very consistent. I can rely on them to, once I got the technique down with them, I know they pretty much will always give me a really nice mark on my piece. So if you're struggling with doing swooshes, I highly recommend you make your own swoosh tools. If you don't know how to do it, and what I told you didn't make sense, you can go on my YouTube channel, and I have a video there that explains how to make that tool. So it's She Shed Arts channel on YouTube. And do put the channel in there, because if you just put in She Shed Arts, you're going to get a whole bunch of directions on how to make she sheds. So just put in She Shed Arts channel, and you will see my channel. There's tons of videos in there, but there is one video on how to make your own DIY swoosh tool. So I initially had bought the large ball tools from Amazon, but it was back almost 2 years ago now, and it's when shipping started to be really kind of unreliable, and it was taking forever for my ball tools to come. So I decided I was going to make my own, and that's kind of what prompted that whole thing. And now that I have those, I don't even use the other things, because I love the way my DIY tools work. Okay, so I've got my pink and purple in there. If you guys have any questions, please make sure that you ask so that I can help you out there. So we're getting ready to do this tiny little outline. So there are some tiny pieces on here, so the really small ball dotters are very helpful for this. So we're going to outline this with white, and we are going to use a really tiny little ball tool for this. It's my second to smallest ball tool, and I'm just going to start here at the top and just walk down. So this is just walking the dots. I'm dipping once, and I'm just following my guidelines down, and I'm going to do that all the way around on one side, and then I'll come back and I'll get the other side. I like to stay consistent with the direction I'm going. It makes it easier for me. And if you get a decent amount of paint on there to start with, you can probably make it all the way to the bottom here. And you can see how that's really outlining that petal. Okay. Now we'll go the other way. And it's just the same thing. Dipping in once, and then we're going to go down the guidelines. Now I'll be back again on Wednesday night this week at 8 o'clock, and I'll be showing this design again, but a different variation. So if you like this design, make sure that you come back on Wednesday, and I'll show you another way that you can do this design and make it look different than this one. So if you like this one, make sure you come back on Wednesday for another variation of this. Okay, now we're going to reverse our color order here, and I am getting my largest swoosh tool that I have, which is, it's not the largest, but the largest one I've got pulled out here for this. And I'm going to start with purple in the center here. And we're just dragging out that purple swoosh on here. if it doesn't go out far enough, you can put a second swoosh right on top of that, which sometimes that's nice. But you have to kind of work at that a little bit to make sure that that works right. And then I'm going to come back in and do just the next size down, and I'm going to do the pink right beside it. So we have opposite of the last one. And then we'll go back the other way. About dipped in the wrong color there. So this is the Pink Tropics that I'm using. And we're just finishing up this last portion here. I'm going to add in a little bit of green to really bring out the side of that petal there. And I'm going to move down to my, this is my Dollar Tree Dotter, and it's got a large end on it. I'm going to use that. And I want to do the light green, which is my apple green. And I'm just freshening up my paint here. I've had that in my tray here for just a little bit. I'll come back the other way. And I'm really just fitting this in here. If I had one that I had a smaller area, I would come back in with a smaller tool. But this one is working out here for the bulk of these. It's fitting in just fine. Now, these swooshes, just simply because different paint and that sort of thing, a little bit smaller than the swooshes I did on my sample that I showed you. So I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to test a size here. And I want to put a really decent sized, and I think I'll do the darker green here. I just want to do a darker green dot here to anchor those, and I can put a top dot on that of the pink or purple, whatever I want to do to anchor that in. And I need to stir this paint up a little bit here. If your paint gets a little sticky, don't hesitate to stir it or even add a little bit more, because sometimes after paint sits a while it does get a little bit on the stickier side and it doesn't lay down as nicely. That's what that green was doing there. So I'm just going back in here and just doing a little green foundation dot. Simply because those didn't go down all the way like I wanted them to. I'm going to cover back over these first few to make sure that they look nice. They were looked a little lumpy to me. There we go. Now that gave us a nice little foundation on that one, and it really finished it off. Okay, now we're back to where we have this portion of our design here, and it is another little outline area. So we're going to go back in with the white again, and I really want to just bring more white there so that I can fill it through on the design. I am I like to carry a color throughout a design. So if I start with it, I want to make sure that I carry it throughout. Now white, of course, is a a pretty stark color, so I just want to make sure that I'm carrying it throughout this design here, because like I said, it sticks out there, especially on the black background. Now, you probably are not going to make it all the way down to the end on this. I will come back in with a smaller tool and just finish off the little walked dots all the way to the bottom of that petal. So I'm just going as far as my tool will take me with the paint, and then I'll come back in and finish that off. So the nice thing about these design templates, it really helps you keep things just nice and lined up so that your designs are even and you don't end up with one side larger than the other, or, you know, just a lot of those other issues that you run into when you don't have a pattern drawn out or a design made up for you. So these design templates really help keep those patterns lined up for you. Making it a little farther down here. And then I'll go back in with a very small little ball dotter and finish those lines that I did not get all the way down on. Okay. Hey, Jamie. Oh, I know. Aren't those colors pretty? Okay, so I'm going to go back in with just a really small little dotter and finish up these rows that didn't quite make it all the way to the bottom. And I'm covering back over a couple of them just to make sure that my dots are small enough. So, you know, where I ended off, those dots were really, really tiny. So I have my smallest little dotter here, but I just want to make sure that I have some paint offloaded on there so that the dots aren't too big where I'm starting. And then you can see how the design lines up with the previous petal outline. So this is design number 2 from the March Easy Dot Art Box. So there is a link at the top of the comments for you to check out the information on that. If you have any questions, just let me know. Hey, Shelly. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a really pretty little design. Yes, Jamie, actually the swooshing is something that definitely needs practice. So you ladies that are in the Easy Dot Art headquarters, would you like to have one day of just swooshing and we'll do swoosh practice? Does that sound like something that would be fun to you? Let me know. Tell me in the comments what you think about that, if that sounds like fun. Okay, so now we're going to do just a little bit of green out here in the, oops, I don't think I want it that big. I got to go a little smaller. That was a big dot. So I'm just going to work on filling these spaces out here. That first one, I put a really big dot there, but that's okay. So we're just going to fill in random dots here on this outside of the flower area. So the easiest way to do random dotting is to start with your largest dots first and then work your way down so that you can fill the area in. And that first one I did was a little bigger than I intended, but it's okay. It doesn't hurt anything. You guys would, yes, on the swooshing, and yes. I tell you what, once you get it, you will just be so totally addicted to swooshing. So it is so much fun. So, okay, we'll plan that for the Easy Dot Art headquarters. We'll plan just a whole class of swooshing practice and direction and that would be fun. I think you guys would really benefit from that. So we'll definitely put that on the schedule. Maybe during Creativity Week we could do that. I'll look at the schedule here for this month, and we'll see what we can fit in. And like it, you know, as always, in that the videos will be recorded, so you can come back and get them later if you're not available when I do the live. Okay, so when we fill in with these, the key is going smaller and smaller. You start with your largest and then you go down. If you start the opposite direction and go with a small first, then it's hard to fit the bigger ones in. You know, whereas I would look here and say, oh, I can't fit that bigger one in there. So you kind of limit yourself if you start with the small size first. So I always start with the bigger ones, and then we'll go back and fill in with the smaller dots. So guys, I finally got out my Lazy Susan. I have 2 of them. And I think I need to order a little baby Lazy Susan. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I need to order just a little bitty one, like a cupcake decorating Lazy Susan. And then that way I can really have a small little place to put this down. What do you guys think? A baby Lazy Susan. I was looking at them on Amazon, and they have 4-inch and 5-inch. I said, ooh, that would be perfect for what we do here. So I'm finishing with my smallest Pittsburgh punch set tool here, and then I'm going to go back in with my ball dotters, and I'm just kind of filling in here. I'll go back in with my little ball dotting tool and just fill in these little spaces that we have here. Yes, the swooshing is so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to pick one of my small ball dotting tools, just a really little one. So these are the nail art tools. It comes in a set of 5. You can get those on Amazon, or you can get them at your local beauty supply. So I'm just picking a small one here, and I'm going to go in and just alternate back and forth between the dark green and light green, and just kind of fill spots in. And so it's almost like walking the dots, except I'm going randomly all over, where I'm just dotting it in my paint one time and kind of pushing it off on here 3 or 4 times, just to get smaller and smaller little dots to fit in to my spots. I'll go all the way around here with the little bitty dark green, and then I'll come back and I'll do the light green. And then that way we're getting random with that. So let's go back in with the light green. So do you guys have any ideas on colors for the Wednesday night design? Anything in particular that you like? Because I really love that voting on the colors was a lot of fun. Everybody loved that. So I'm going to do some more color choices for Wednesday night for this design. For this template, it'll be a different design on this template. So you guys have any thoughts or wishes for colors? What would you like to see? So I probably will not offer I won't offer this color palette, and I won't offer oranges and greens either, because I've already done that. So I want to make sure I do a variety of different colors for you guys so that you can see. I will definitely offer some blues, because that was runner-up last week. A lot of people were commenting on the blues. So I'll offer some blue choices for Wednesday night. So I'll be back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing this template, just a different design on this template. So remember, these are the Easy Dot Art templates, and ordering is now open for the March box. So if you're not in the Easy Dot Art headquarters. I put the link at the top, and you can order this box and get all your instruction in our private group. Okay, there we go. I think I about got it filled out. Earth tones. Okay, so like, give me some examples, Shelly, of what you want. Like moss green and like some tans and things like that. I really never do colors like that, so that would really stretch my imagination. I would really have to work on that. So give me some ideas on what you think. Okay, so now we're going to fill in, let's see, we're going to do, I'm just going to put a dot of purple up at the peak of each of these, just to bring a little bit more of that vibrant color in. I love this purple sunset. I think it is just a gorgeous color. And then I'm going to go down a size in tools here. Coffee colors. Oh, now I can go for that. Coffee. Yum. Okay, now I'm going to go down one size, and I'm just going to stay with this same color, and I'm actually just going to walk some dots down. And I just am dipping once and walking 3 dots down, just following my design here. And then we'll go all the way around, and then I'll go back and go the other way. I try as much as I can stay one direction and then go back the other direction. It's just easier. Okay, now we'll go back. Any other color suggestions? Brown, green, and blue. Ooh, that sounds pretty. Brown, green, and blue. Okay, I'll put a combo like that together, Shelly. So I'll offer like probably 4 different combos for people to vote on. So make sure you look for that post. I'll post it probably tomorrow. Look for that post and you can vote on it. Okay, now I'm going to do the walking the dots again. I'm going to do the pink this time, but we're going to walk up. And I'm using the large ball tool here. And we're just going to walk up to the peak there. I love this pink and purple together. All right, there we go. Ooh, what a pretty color combo. Okay. All right, how do you guys like that? Here's the orange and white and green one. Gives you a different idea on that. So So this is the March design number 2. So the link is at the top of the comments for you guys to check that out for the box. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And remember, I'll be back again on Wednesday. We'll do another variation of this exact one on Wednesday, and it'll be a different design with the same template. So I'll look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.